Hi, I'm Manny. I'm back to Yap, and I have great news. Well, great news for me. So, last video I said that I upgraded to a new version of Clip Studio Paint that has all these fancy paint color mixing tools on the brushes, and that it might actually lead to me changing or altering my process or even my art style. Well, I am pleased to report that that is not the case. I still love doing it exactly like this: pencil, sketchy, and then do the color overlay and multiply layers on top. Although the blending will be very useful in making transitions between tones, it's not going to cause a huge change that'll have me, basically tossing out all of the works that I have cooking at the moment. Which I know that it doesn't really matter how many works in progresses, I leave behind, because it's not really an issue as long as I actually do finish things. But just having the incomplete potential of it there when I could do something about it really eats away at me. It's almost like every single artwork is in itself a unique opportunity, and I don't like to, throw it away. It kind of feels like throwing away food, like I'm throwing away a once in a lifetime chance, a once in a lifetime thing, something that I'll never get to enjoy or feel again. Because creating an artwork is kind of like an emotional roller coaster, right? It's an adventure. It's like watching a film. It has a beginning, a middle, and end. You get the part where you struggle, and then you overcome the challenge, and then it's gratifying. And that's something that I, have a hard time understanding about people who, I'm not gonna name names or accuse too much, but use just an image generator or something, because you're kind of cheating yourself out of the part that really matters and the part that allows people to connect with what you've made. It's just telling a machine to do it for you is kind of hollow and empty. Another thing that's funny about that whole situation is that people refer to them as AI artists, and artists in quotes, to sort of signify that they're, sarcasm. But I still think that's kind of the wrong word to use. I call them AI posers, because a poser is somebody who wants to pretend to be something that they're not. And that's what these people are doing. They're using a tool to pretend that they're something, but they're not really putting in the work to be that. So yeah, I call them AI posers. And it's not even out of hate, it's just a clarity of language thing where we need to communicate more the thing that we don't like about it. And what I don't like about it is that it's the only way people get others to see value in AI generated imagery is for them to lie and pretend like they made it themselves, because they know that there's no real value in it. Because the moment a person knows that what they're looking for was just spat out by a machine with no human input, then for them it kind of turns off any instinct to connect with it on any kind of deeper level, and they just see it as sugary eye candy, or even less than that, just empty calories. Which is why my magic lamp wish for AI image generation isn't so much to make it disappear forever, even though I think that would do good, but rather to make it so that there is a definitive, 100% guaranteed way to tell that the image you saw was AI image generated, like a tag or a disclaimer, like something to make it clear what it is you're looking at, so that people can't just lie and offer the value of something made by humans by lying about a piece that was just spat out by a machine. Because if that was the case, then the people who don't care can just avoid it, the people who don't like it can also avoid it, and the people who genuinely want to see that can, have their space where they enjoy whatever the hell kind of gratification you get from that stuff. But yeah, the point of that whole tangent, ramble, whatever the hell, is let's stop calling them artists. Let's just call them AI posers. Hopefully that'll, get the right idea across. Anyway, moving on from that self-righteous blah blah blah. I am finally starting to do the detailing and the shading on the couch, which is going to be a daunting challenge for me because there are so many like pieces of like wrinkle and texture and folds that I'm gonna have to get across. And that's just for the shading layer. That's just for the layer when the penciling is black. Like there's also gonna be another layer on top of that where the pencil scribbling is gonna be white, and that's gonna be for like highlights or spots where the light is hitting it or where it's folding upwards instead of downwards. It's gonna be a whole thing. It makes me feel tired just looking at it, but I have to take it one step at a time. Just calm down, just do a little bit now, a little bit later, and eventually I'll get there. I actually kind of like how the shading of it turns out. Like the texture of the pencil actually really helps get across the way the couch is supposed to look. But I think I might have overdone it with the wrinkles on the spot where her elbow's pushing down on it, because a couch wouldn't, at least this specific couch that I'm drawing, it wouldn't like fold as much as I'm portraying here. But I got carried away and said, no, I need to provide more visual information, more to make sure people understand that, she's actually leaning down and putting force down onto the couch cushion. Oh, and also drawing the cast shadow that's going to go under her hand and her wrist on the couch is going to be pretty tricky because the reference I use was lit differently than the lighting I'm using here. So I'm gonna have to just like MacGyver something that at least looks decent enough that it makes visual sense. But if you take a closer look at it, it's probably gonna fall apart. But that's okay. Like the only thing I really need to do is to make something that looks good. It doesn't have to make, all the sense in the world and be made perfectly. It just has to look good. And beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So as long as someone looks at it and says, "Hey, that looks good enough," then hey, I did my job. Anyway, it looks like we're coming up on the end here. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And yeah, time to start recording me, filling out the shadows in the couch. Have a good one. Bye bye.